Yo, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we'll be doing my mock draft after we just did JB's. So, let's get right into it. And with the first pick in the draft, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Sarah Fuller. This is an easy pick. We go Trevor Lawrence right off the dot. We don't need to argue or say anything about it.
To really say about that there.
Second one is to the Jets. My favorite quarterback in the draft, Zach Wilson. I just think the dude's got superstar written all over him. He's got everything that you want in a quarterback, everything you would need. His only issue is his durability. I think if he gets a little bulkier, he works on that, dude's going to have a phenomenal career in the NFL.
I agree.
Third pick. This is where me and JB have been arguing throughout the weeks. The 49ers select Trey Lance. And I think it's the perfect pick for them. He upgrades Kyle Shanahan's offense where he can run with the ball. He's got really good accuracy. He's got really good pocket presence. All he's lacking is experience at this point. That's why I think he would fit really well here, is because he's not going to start immediately. He's going to get a year under his belt learning behind Jimmy G and Kyle Shanahan, and I think he's going to do well there.
That's definitely a possibility. If you remember, I had not Mac Jones. I had Justin Fields going third overall in my draft. I think he's too good of a prospect to pass up at this point, but Trey Lance is definitely the next best option in my opinion. My only concern of him is that he didn't play in 2020. They didn't have a season. So he's had a year off, so he'd definitely be a little rusty, but I could definitely see him going third overall to the 49ers.
All right, fourth overall pick, trade alert. The Falcons trade the fourth pick to the Broncos, and the Broncos select Mac Jones.
Yeah, I could see that.
I'm high on Mac Jones. I think he's going to be good. I don't think he's the best fit for the Broncos, but I think the Broncos are so desperate for a quarterback that they trade up and they get him. Because I also don't see Justin Fields being a fit with them, and I haven't heard a lot about Justin Fields falling to the Broncos.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. I definitely think that if the Broncos were to get a pick, they would be the team to take Mac Jones. I'm not as big on Mac Jones as I am on Justin Fields, but I wouldn't be surprised if I saw him trade up and make the move to pick up Mac Jones.
5. This is easy. Bengals select Penei Sewell.
Yep, same here.
Don't make it hard on Joe Burrow. He already has weapons. Get him protection. We don't want any more scars on Joe Burrow's leg.
That's a fact, 100%.
So, pick 6, I have Kyle Pitts going to Miami. I was doing it, and he just fell there. So I was like, they have to take him. He's the best pass catcher in this draft. And I'm an LSU fan. I love Jamar Chase. But Jamar Chase can't put his hand in the dirt, block, and the next play run a streak. He gives you more.
Kyle Pitts is very versatile.
He's very versatile. He can do more. And he's a big red zone threat.
Yep, if he falls there, I definitely agree he'll go there.
Pick 7. At first, I had the Lions trading out of this, but since Jamar Chase falls to the spot, I think their eyes are wide open and they take him. There's no debate. If Jamar Chase is on the board, they're taking him. There's no trade that they're going to trade back for.
He's the consensus number 1 overall wide receiver in this draft. I mean, it would be stupid for him to pass up.
Pick 8. Trade alert. Carolina trades their pick to the one and only New England Patriots.
Uh-oh, I know what's going to happen here.
I don't see this actually happening because I don't see the Patriots. They're not that type of team to trade up. Yeah. But I think if Justin Fields falls this far, somebody's got to go get him. And I think it's Patriots. The Patriots are Washington, but I think the Patriots, the way they spent over this offseason, they spent a lot of money. They're trying their best to get back into it. I think Bill Belichick would make this move this year over any other year to go get Justin Fields.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I I mean, I couldn't imagine Justin Fields falling that far, but if that were to happen, I wouldn't be surprised because I know there have been reports that the Patriots are very high on Justin Fields.
Pick number 9, this was Denver Broncos, but now it is the Atlanta Falcons. I think this is the perfect place for Micah Parsons to fall. Mm-hmm. He falls right into the Falcons' arms. This is what they need. They need defense, and he is one of the best defensive players in this draft. It addresses the big need, and it's a steal for them. They trade back, they get more picks, and they get Micah Parsons.
Dream come true.
Pick 10, Patrick Surtain II.
Yeah, like I said, him going there.
Like I said in JB's mock, lock it in. It's happening.
Yeah, that seems certain.
With pick 11, the Giants do what you would expect the Giants to do every year, and they draft another offensive tackle. Mm-hmm. This year they go Rashawn Slater.
That'd be a good pick.
I think it's better than their most of their other tackles that they draft because Rashawn Slater is a number 1 overall tackle in most drafts. However, Penei Sewell beats him out this year.
Yeah.
12, I have Jalen Waddle landing with the Eagles. I have Jalen Waddle over Devontae Smith. I like his body type more.
Yeah.
I think he's not a better receiver, but he's a safer.
Yeah.
And if you're the Eagles and he's sitting there, you have to take at least one of them. I don't care which one it is. I like Waddle better. That's why I put him there. But you have to take one of the Bama receivers. They're going to fall. Take one of them. Get it over with.
Mm-hmm.
Pick 13 to the Chargers. I have Christian Darrisaw. They need a tackle. Justin Herbert was running for his life just like Joe Burrow. Get the tackle. Improve your line.
Yeah, I had the same pick. I think this is a very safe pick for the Chargers to go offensive line here. I think Christian Darrisaw would be a great fit in that offense.
And I have back-to-back tackles going with the Vikings taking Elijah Vera Tucker. I think he's the third best tackle in this draft. I think he's got a lot of potential. Pick 15 was the New England Patriots pick, but they trade with the Panthers. And with the Panthers pick, they select Devontae Smith. If you would have told me that the Panthers ended up with Devontae Smith 2 or 3 weeks ago, I would have said you're insane. And they get him at 15, trading back and getting picks. If this happens, I'm scared as a Saints fan. Because not only do they get one of the top 3 receivers in the draft, they get more picks from it. Mm-hmm. And a lot. Because New England traded up from 15 to, what was it?
8.
That's a big trade.
Value. Yeah, I mean, I think with the addition of Sam Darnold, that's definitely a possibility. I thought before Sam Darnold, it was very clear that they needed to go quarterback. In my mock draft, I still had them going with Trey Lance, but I wouldn't be surprised, after the addition of Sam Darnold if they went elsewhere. And wide receiver seems to be definitely a good decision, especially with Devontae Smith still on the board.
With pick 16, the Cardinals select J.C. Horn. Now, if the Patriots don't end up making a move, I think he gets picked the pick before and goes to the Patriots. But the Cardinals, they just lost Pat Pete, and other than that, their defense isn't anything to brag about. I think if they get J.C. Horn, another top corner in this draft, this will help them rebuild that defense and try to make a playoff team. Because right now, they're on the edge. They're just a few pieces missing, and part of those pieces that they need are the defense. Pick 17, I have the Raiders drafting Trevon Moehrig. I don't know how to say his name, but safety out of TCU. Dude can ball. He's clearly the number 1 safety.
Yeah.
He's the only one that's first round worthy.
I had the same exact pick.
I do think there's a possibility they go offensive lineman here because they traded half their linemen for some reason. They had one of the top offensive line, and they got rid of 3 or 4 of them. So they're going to have to address that eventually in this draft. With the 18th pick, the Miami Dolphins select Christian Barmore. I would not be surprised if it's a running back here, but I think the NFL is starting to learn that running backs are expendable, and I just feel like 18 is too high for a running back in this point. I don't care who it is. I think they bolster their defensive line. They make that defense better than it was last year, even though it was one of the top defenses in the league. They make it better, and they go from there.
Yeah, I could definitely see that happening. I had Najee Harris going 18th to the Dolphins in my mock draft, but going into your defensive lineman is definitely a safer pick, and I think it definitely utilizes the higher draft pick better. But, I mean, they need both, so I could see either one turning out.
With the 19th pick, the Washington football team selects Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. This dude has Luke Kuechly written all over him. He can cover. He can blitz. He's just a leader. I think he's the best linebacker in the draft. Well, pure linebacker. There's edge rushing linebackers, and then there's linebackers that just more like run coverage. I think he can do it all. He's going to be a great asset to their team. With the 20th pick, the Chicago Bears select Elijah Moore.
Ooh, I like that pick.
With Allen Robinson there, they don't need Bateman. They don't need another big receiver that's going to win jump balls and go down the field. They need a slot receiver that can get open on third downs and make it easy for Andy Dalton. Because last year, they didn't have that. Now, they didn't have the best quarterback play, but I think Elijah Moore adds a different aspect to this offense.
Mm-hmm.
With pick 21, I have Rashad Bateman. And this is the opposite case. The Colts have a lot of good receivers, but none of them are like, give me the ball down the field. Let me make a play. Let me make a play to win this game. Let me make a game-changing play. They don't have that. I think Rashad Bateman's got that skill set. He's tall. He's relatively fast. He's got decent hands. I think he can be that game-changing receiver for them. With the 22nd pick, the Tennessee Titans select Caleb Farley. I do think they need to address the receiver situation here. They already addressed their pass rush and free agency by getting Bud Dupree. If Caleb Farley falls this far, they need a cornerback, and Farley is a top 10 talent if he's not hurt.
Yeah, I agree. That's another great pick. I think we both have Caleb Farley fallen pretty far in our draft. However, I definitely think he's like a top 10, 15 prospect when he's healthy. So I think this is definitely, you could put this in the range of it almost being a steal at this point in the draft.
With pick 23, I have the Jets taking Kwity Paye. I think Kwity Paye is the second best edge rusher in this draft. And if he falls to 23, he falls to a team that needs an edge rusher. And the Jets would be more than happy to make this pick. Here's another spot where I could see a running back going. But I think the Jets need a lot more than a game-changing running back. I think they need to build in positions where it's harder to get those type of guys and shoot a shot with Kwity Paye. With the 24th pick, the Steelers select Najee Harris.
Ooh.
Unlike a lot of these teams where I'm like, they need to build their team, the Steelers have a relatively solid squad. Now, they had some people leave. The Steelers have the worst rushing attack the past few years.
Oh, yeah.
They just need a guy. They need a running back here. You can't trickle the ball down the field with Big Ben like you did last year. Teams are going to figure you out. You got a solid defense, so I don't see them going defense here. I could see a tackle, but most of the relatively first-round tackles are gone at this point. I think you got to do it here. This is where you go get your running back. This is where you can change your offense.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I had them getting a tackle in my draft. However, I think if they don't go tackle, they definitely go running back here because, I mean, like Zach said, for the past few years, they have had an absolutely horrendous rushing attack. So I think the addition of Najee Harris could definitely improve that. Not to mention, there's been reports that the Steelers are very high on Najee Harris to begin with, so that's a good sign as well.
With the 25th pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars select Walker Little, a tackle out of Stanford. This is relatively simple. I think they get Trevor Lawrence, and then they start building around him. They don't really need a receiver, in the first round, I think their main focus should be on protecting Trevor Lawrence so they don't pull a Joe Burrow and injure their rookie quarterback. You got to build that offensive line so he can show you what he has. Another pick I could see them getting is the safety out of TCU if he falls that far, or maybe another defensive player. They definitely need to build up their defense again. With the 26th pick, the Cleveland Browns select Jalen Phillips. Now, the Cleveland Browns don't have a lot of holes, but the one thing they do need is defense in general. They don't really need like a specific position, but they could definitely upgrade on defense. So I have them taking the best available rusher left, which is Jalen Phillips. With the 27th pick, the Ravens select Terrence Marshall. I've seen a lot of mock drafts have him linked with the Ravens. I think he falls to them perfectly. I mean, he's the perfect receiver for their offense. You get a big physical receiver to complement Marquise Brown, who's your speed guy.
I agree. I think that's a great pick. As a matter of fact, I had him going to the Ravens as well. It's just a few picks later.
Our New Orleans Saints select Nick Bolton for Missouri.
I like that pick as well.
I'm also an LSU fan, obviously. And when I watched the Missouri game, this dude balled. This dude made the game-winning play at the end and swatted away Miles Brennan's pass to win the game on 4th down. He's a great cover guy, and he's just an overall really great linebacker. I hope the Saints get him because the Saints love to use their linebackers in coverage. They love to blitz them. He's a versatile guy. I hope they get Nick Bolton somehow.
I agree. I mean, I think the Saints, you can't really go wrong with 3 positions, wide receiver, linebacker, and cornerback. The Saints desperately need all 3 of those positions. So with any of those, there's nothing wrong with it. Nick Bolton, I think, would be a great pick at 27 or 28.
The 29th pick, I have Green Bay taking Kadarius Toney. Toney is a phenomenal receiver at route running. I've seen highlights of the dude the dude can break ankles.
He's a very fun receiver to watch.
He's a fun receiver to watch. His hands can use a little work, but coaching will help that. If the Green Bay Packers do not address the receiver position
this year, that would be a problem.
They didn't do it this year. They didn't trade for one at the trade deadline last year. They didn't make a move for any of the receivers in free agency. They have to do it here.
I agree.
I don't care who's left on the board.
Yeah. I mean, I have them going the exact same pick. I think it's an easy no-brainer. They need someone to pair with Devontae Adams. He can't do it all himself, and I think Kadarius Toney would be the perfect counter to him.
With the 30th pick, I have the Bills taking Gregory Rousseau. And if Najee Harris falls to the Bills, I say they take Najee Harris. But unfortunately, he doesn't, and I think they bolster that defense.
Yeah, again, just like the last pick, I have the exact same guy going there. I think with the Bills, they don't need too many needs. Running back would be a great addition if he's still there. But if Najee's not there, which in your draft he's not, I think they go safe, they play it safe, they bolster the defensive line, and they go Gregory Rousseau.
With the 31st pick, I have the Ravens selecting Azeez Ojulari from Georgia. He's the best edge rusher they have left on the board at this point. They have to address this after losing Yannick Ngakoue. It's that simple. They live and die by their defense most of the time. I know they have Lamar, but if you go back and watch any other Ravens game any other year, back when they had Flacco, they're a defensive team, and I think they fixed that with Azeez. The final pick, I didn't really know what to do with the Bucs, so I just threw them the safety from Washington. It says it's one of their needs. I don't think they really don't need anything.
Yeah. I
wouldn't be shocked if they, just stupidly draft a quarterback. They tend to just do dumb things in the draft.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised at anything. I mean, the Bucs, I agree, they're a hard team to draft for. Personally, I think that they have a really good secondary, so I want interior defensive lineman. But yeah, I mean, they could really do anything here. There's really no telling.
Some notable picks in the later rounds. I have Newsome and Asante Samuel going back-to-back in the second round to the Jags and Jets, respectively. I have the Falcons drafting Travis Etienne. I have him falling to the Falcons. I think if he falls to the Falcons, he could be very dangerous in that team.
That could be a steal. Pair him with Gurley.
The Saints' second-round pick, I have them selecting cornerback Kelvin Joseph. Kelvin Joseph used to be an LSU cornerback, and then he transferred after getting into some trouble. But the dude is an athlete, and if the Saints can coach him up well and fix his off-the-field issues, this could be a steal in the draft. But we'll have to see on that. In the third round, the Washington football team selects Kyle Trask.
That could also be a great possibility.
I think the rest of the quarterbacks after the top 5, I think you see them start to fall in round 3 to 4.
Mm-hmm.
There's a few of them I like if they fall to the right spots. I like Kyle Trask at Washington. I think he'd be a good fit there. I'm not high on Trask, but I think he'd be a good fit with Washington. He'd definitely get a shot to fill that role with what they have there
and whatnot. I think Kellen Mond could be another great steal too if he develops. He's definitely very raw at the moment, but with some development, he could be a great talent in the NFL.
Speaking of Kellen Mond, I have Kellen Mond going to the Steelers in round 3.
Oh wow, they could definitely use that. The Big Ben on the brink of ending his career soon.
This is another one I forgot to say because we're in round 3 now, but going back to round 2, I think the Bears get Davis Mills from Stanford, quarterback.
Oh, the quarterback, yeah.
That's who I have them getting in the second round. I think they are desperate for a quarterback, and they're going to take one in the second round. I would not be shocked if – I don't know who it's going to be.
Andy Dalton.
I like Davis Mills over all these other second-tier quarterbacks. I think he's got potential.
Yeah,
but the Bears are going to take one of them here because they're desperate.
He definitely gives off the vibes of a prototypical NFL quarterback with his style of play.
And that's my mock draft. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. And let us know in the comments if there was anything else you would change or anything else you would like to see on the channel.
All right.
Peace.